Did you know that in India, 6% of children have a communication disorder? So, welcome back to the video series on what are the reasons for speech delay. In the previous video, we had seen the organic causes of a speech language delay. If you haven't seen it, go back to that video and watch it and come back. Now we are going to talk about the functional causes of a speech and language delay. If you had seen the previous video, you know that an organic disorder is something that can be physically seen, tested and validated under a microscope or physically or in the brain. But a functional disorder is very different from an organic disorder in that it cannot be seen with your eyes. The problem cannot be pinpointed easily on the body because it is a little complex and it involves how the body functions than how it was made. So the body might be made in a typical fashion, but the way it functions on the system or the processes by which it functions is slightly different. Functional disorders are also a bit complex to understand and to pinpoint as well as to diagnose. So complex in that earlier they were called idiopathic or unknown cause of disorders. We are no more calling it idiopathic because we want to know what is causing this delay. So I'm going to give you 8 types of functional reasons why your child might not be speaking. This is not an exhaustive list because since functional disorders are many and they work in different ways, it can be more than 8 also, but for the purpose of this video, we're going to talk about 8 reasons. Okay, so the first reason is neglect. Neglect can be any type, that is physical neglect, emotional neglect, or it can also be malnutrition. It can be you have other financial or pressing family issues, health issues to take care of, so you're not able to spend or allocate time with your child. So all these can also be one reason. Second reason is parental absenteeism. So what I mean by this is parents are the first role models for their child when the baby is born, and the role of the parent is to offer physical wellness, is to give the child moral and personal values, to be of emotional support to the child, to teach the child how to navigate obstacles and difficulties in life. And through this all, parent and the child develop healthy relationships. Now, before I tell you how parental absenteeism affects the child, I want to ask you why you think we communicate. Why do we communicate? Why am I speaking to you through this video, or why are you speaking to your spouse or your friends? Why do we do all this? Because as humans, we are social animals. That is, we thrive based on a social group. We want to express our feelings, we want to share our views, we want to get emotional support from these people. That is the main reason that we all speak. Now think back. If your child is not receiving all these back and forth interactions from you from a very young age, is not having time to bond with you, then it is going to affect how the child is developing and forming relationships, and in turn how he is going to speak. So initially when your baby is born, you're going to be talking to your baby, you're going to make different faces and talk with your child. When you do this, you're teaching a child a lot of information about relationships and about people. You're teaching them about smiling, you're teaching them to imitate you, you're teaching them to make you happy, you're teaching them to show off something to you. All of these things are from the basis of relationships, and these are also indirectly the basis of communication. We're not there for the child for support and for interactions, then the child is going to have difficulty in communicating. So what you see this child do is they draw into their own world. They explore by themselves, they are used to playing by themselves, they don't show interest in you or in other children. So because the child is used to being that way. Only when you expose a child to yourself, build good relationships with your child, is he going to understand that I have to speak to another person, I have to talk and share my ideas. If you think this might be you, if you think that your relationship with your child is not very strong, then I am urging you to go back to my parent-child relationship video and parent-child interaction. I will teach you how to interact with your child and what you can do during those times. And you can watch all the videos on my channel and also try it, play with your child and develop meaningful interactions. The third reason that your child might be speaking late is because autism. Now, autism is a big diagnosis. It is not something that I can give you on this video easily. It is difficult to understand, and I will make a video on that separately. But autism is a neurodevelopmental disorder, meaning that the basis of the disorder is inside the body or in the mind or in the biochemical level or in the cellular level. So this disorder is again a disorder that is not easily understood by people, and the exact reason for autism is not, you cannot pinpoint and say this is the cause of autism, because it is a complex disorder, but it could be because of autism also. So there are different signs, symptoms of autism, and you need to go to a developmental therapist or your doctor or your pediatrician, and you have to get a formal diagnosis. The fourth reason can be an auditory processing difficulty. An auditory processing disorder is when the sound that reaches your external ear is not the same that is encoded by the brain. That is, there is some discrepancies in the levels of processing that occurs between the ear and between the brain. So there are different levels and processes and structures and functions involved in processing sound. So there can be some differences in this processing that causes a central auditory processing problem. The reason is something called apraxia or apraxia of speech, or also called childhood apraxia of speech. So what apraxia means is there is an area in the brain that is responsible for producing speech, and that area is connected to the muscles and to our oral structures. Apraxia occurs when the information from the brain does not reach the muscles and the oral structures on time or in a precise way. So this information is jumbled. That can cause children to have a lot of pronunciation problems. That is, they will have the intent to say what they want to say, but they are not able to get the exact precise words to say. The sixth reason can be that your child is developing in a bilingual or a multilingual environment. What this means is you might be talking more than one language at home. That can cause a child to be slightly delayed in speech. Keep in mind that being bilingual or being multilingual is not bad for your child in the long run, but in the short term might cause a slight delay in speech development, because children all go through something called a silent period when they are learning a language. So this is a period where they take in a lot of information but they don't express it. So that is a silent period. Seventh reason that your child can have a delay is something called a social communication disorder. A social communication disorder, or called a pragmatic disorder, is when your child they don't understand the social aspect of communication. Thereby they seem withdrawn and they don't seem like they want to give information, they want to talk to other people. So these kind of symptoms can be seen. The last reason can be a specific language impairment. A specific language impairment is similar to what its name suggests. There is no other reason that causes this delay, but the child's language system in the brain is affected. That is, how the brain represents language is different, and this causes the child to be delayed or speak very less. So these are the possible functional reasons for a speech delay. There may be other reasons that I've missed out, but look at your child, think back and see if any of these symptoms and any of these reasons sound similar to you. I hope this video has given you a lot of information on why your child might not be speaking, and I hope it shed some light on the process or the reason or the cause or the why aspect of a speech delay. So once you know why your child is not speaking, it's time to help them. The help again depends on why, because without knowing why, we cannot really treat something. Hope this video is helpful. Let me know in the comments why you think your child is not yet speaking and how you think you need to help your child. See you in the next video.